the fish. Makes water.
It's pulling us out, fun.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stripers right there.
There's a line in the
I know, I'm trying to pull it out, but you work on your fish.
Oh my gosh, it's right there.
Okay, slow down. Just let him pull us. That'll tire him down a little bit.
Beautiful.
He is beautiful. Look at that. Okay, now you can try to pull him. Okay, don't reel anymore. Just see where the net is, Hannah? You're gonna get your rod over the net and get his head into it. Oh, he's mad now.
Come here. And he's like, don't slave me.
Okay, now you can reel a little bit, just a little.
Oh.
You're doing good. That's a big fish, Hannah. Okay, you're doing fine. Don't reel. Just play. I'm gonna get the net on that side, okay? He probably doesn't like the net. Yeah, see, he goes where the net isn't. Okay, this is good. Now, whoop, if you can keep him on this side. Oh, that's a beauty.
Look at the spikes on the back.
Okay, you're doing it. Now you can force him. Hannah, great job.
Can I show Mommy?
Yeah, what do you think, Fuzz?
That's
Wow.
oh, my armpit hurts.
Hannah,
Thinking on
is that your first stripey?
yeah. I want another one.
Okay, there's one right there. There's a striper right there. Nice work.
Whoa.
There he goes.
Bye, beauty. Let's see if we can catch one bigger now.
Yeah, there's ones all around us. Well, guys, we're out in the Penobscot Bay in Maine. This place is amazing, and the fishery is incredible. The striped bass are catchable, and that has been a big discovery. I'm just a weekly warrior. I actually am from New York. I'm a perch fisherman. But we figured out enough that I've got something to share. The striped bass are in the crazy thin waters. So right here, where I am, is where we've caught probably a half dozen of them or so. And there's what we're dealing with. It's about 10 inches of water.
That is awesome. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, where am I going?
That didn't take long. Was that 3 casts this morning? At the lowest of tides.
How's my drag? Good, right?
It sounds perfect.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
I'm trying to get him to...
What do you say?
This is very cool. I'm not really awake, but a little more now.
It is 6 a.m.
Oh.
3 casts, 1 striper.
They are so cool.
That is, that's where they feed. They're working these shallows. There's little like bays within the bays. Sometimes a whole pod of stripers will be pushing bait, or either these little minnows, about 1.5 inch long killifish or shrimp, and they're working them up in those corners, and they're pounding them. They're also picking up crabs. There's a lot of crabs in the inch and a half range. They're picking them up off this basically sand bottom, and they are feeding heavy. What do you say?
This fish is terrible.
This is a terrible fish. Look at the fog.
Well, fog's pretty, but up here.
There he comes. There he comes.
Right, get the net right. Up.
Oh, nice. All right, swinging this way. Nice. You got a shad. You could tell your dad. You think he'd be sad?
No.
So I want to go over some of the tricks that we came up with to actually catch them. You'll see I'm in a canoe instead of a kayak. It's partly because I gotta have 5 different rods going at once. I feel like I'm in a Bassmasters tournament out here. And I'm going over what I'm using. Probably the number one is this right here. It's a Goldilocks situation. Even though they're a big fish, these are 7 to 10 pound fish, their mouths aren't that big, and they're not feeding on big stuff. So you need actually something smaller. But you also, especially in this thin water, you have got to get some casting distance. And it cannot sink because there's an algae gunk on the bottom that will, there, this guy's goobered up here. It's just going to goober things up, and you got to stay away from that. So you need something that is small, that's heavy enough to cast far, and that won't sink. You also need a unicorn, basically. The closest thing to that I've found is this guy right here. This is a 2.5 inch. I think it's called a swim bait shad, and I'm putting it on a wire, just a wire weedless hook, no weight at all. And in order to get the casting distance, this is actually 4-pound test line, and I did get an 8-pound striper on that this morning. The rest of the time, my wife has been doing really well with this right here. This is a 8-pound test line, and I broke a Zoom worm in half and put it on a tungsten head wacky worm hook, a Gamakatsu, and that seemed to do the trick. Getting that, we had to go to tungsten to get that distance, but that did the trick. So another thing that worked, but not consistently, was live bait on a circle hook. For stripers in Maine, if you're using bait at all, you have to use a non-offset. That means it's a straight circle hook, which I really do recommend. This is an amazing resource, and we don't want to kill them unnecessarily at all. This works fantastically well as far as getting a clean hook set on them. And I was picking up those crabs that were about 1.5 inches. And one evening with the kids, as the tide was going out, we were on that point right there, casting. Well, actually, I didn't cast. I put the bobber in the canoe, brought it out, and dropped it in about 1.5 feet of water, maybe 60 yards offshore. And we got 3 stripers in about 15 minutes doing that. I think it's going further out now. Yeah, I got it. Good job, Mitch Bob. You're doing good. You're doing good. Whoa, that's a nice one. Hannah, good job, Hannah. What do you think, Liz?
I just saw the rod go down. I'm like, Daddy, this is heavy.
That wasn't very hard at all. It's like, hey, what'd you say? He said, why is that rod bouncing?
Yeah, you did it. I was like, why is that rod bouncing?
Liz, that's your biggest fish ever.
That's one of the biggest fish I've ever caught.
What do you think, Liz?
I never took her. She reeled that all by
Yes,
herself.
she did.
All I did was help guide her to her spot. She did all of that.
And we got it with a circle hook.
Is this the biggest striper ever?
Look at that. See how the circle hook catches them nice and clean
That is gorgeous.
on the side of the mouth, so you get a nice clean release. Keep them in the water. What do you think, Lids?
Daddy, is this the biggest striper ever caught?
Yeah, it's the biggest one you've caught.
Well, my wrist hurts now.
Monsters.
Good job netting, Hannah.
Yes, Hannah, you were out there and you got all.
But that's what we were using, and we were using it in these skinny waters. High tide, you had to go way back in. I found that the last bit of the tide, as it was going almost completely out, was the most effective. And really, over 3 feet of water, I don't think we caught a fish over 3 feet of water. So it's the skinny, and you need a boat. You need a boat that can handle that. We use kayaks and canoes. And you had to ease ahead, learn to read the surface. You're looking for the fins, you're looking for the fish getting pushed up. After a while, once you've caught them in the same bay a couple times, you kind of know that some of the spots. Something like that rocky point over there was pretty good at a certain moment, but just the straight up sandy, muddy bottom was pretty darn good too. That's the main tricks. We got a bunch of videos here too to check out of us hammering them, and there's some more tips there. Thank you for watching, and check out our channel. We've got a lot of fishing trips, fishing how-tos, and some tips and tricks. Thanks again.